And we're back here, Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. Zach Gelb, Chase Sr., and John Henry here with you. The Temple Owls are red hot. 5 in a row after losing to Duquesne. They're in New York tonight in the Bronx playing a Fordham's Ram team. And on the hotline right now is Temple guard TJ DiLeo. TJ, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Doing great.
Well, thank you for coming on. And just take me back to after that Duquesne loss. What was Fran Dunphy like? Because this team has been completely different after that loss to Duquesne. You won 5 in a row. What did Dunphy say to you guys after that Duquesne loss?
He basically, the next day in practice, we had a short turnaround. I think we're playing UMass, and that's Saturday. And he basically told us, are we going to just sit here and sulk about it, or are we going to go out there and do something about it? Are we going to have a good practice today, really prepare, and go out and beat UMass? And ever since then, I think we had a good practice that day, beat UMass, and we knew we had to take care of business every game from here on out.
We've seen 2 completely different Temple Owls team this year. A team that's beat Syracuse, went into Kansas, played Kansas tough. You should have won that game. And then you've seen teams that go out there and lose to St. Bonaventure, lose to Duquesne. This is a bad Fordham team tonight. They only have 6 wins on the regular season. And I know they're in the A-10, and you guys are going to play it up like every single team in the A-10 is tough. But why has this team struggled with bad teams this year? Even look at Rhode Island the other day. That was a close game, and you guys should have beat them by more points.
Yeah, I think sometimes if we don't take care of business early, and then teams they can get hot or something in the second half. I think a lot of the games that I'd say we played well, we've had a real good first half, and then sometimes in the games we've struggled, we just let the other team hang in there in the first half, and sometimes in the second half they get hot or something like that. And I mean, Fordham we gotta just go out there and take care of business tonight, especially early on.
TJ, Chase Sr. here. You mentioned Fordham. Obviously, in the record column, they don't have too many wins to show for, but teams have gone in there and had a tough time beating them. Butler, to name one. What kind of matchup problems does Fordham present you guys?
Yeah, they have some really big guys. They got some depth down low. They got Chris Gaston, who's a senior. I'm pretty sure it's their senior night, so they're going to be playing with a lot of energy. Chris Gaston's been a good player for 4 years in this league. He's really talented. They got some talented guards. Brandon Frazier, he can really score the ball, and some talented freshmen too. So I know we just really got to try and limit them early and not let them go, because they're going to be playing with a lot of energy. Home game, senior night. So I think overall, just have a good start and kind of manage the game well.
Zach Gelb, Chase Sr., and John Henry here with you, Temple Sports Hour on Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. 215-204-9449 is the number if you want to call and hang with us. Temple senior guard TJ DiLeo is on the hotline as he's in Bronx right now. And I understand that Daniel Dingle's actually from New York, just like myself. Has he been showing you around? I know you guys got in there late last night to New York.
Yeah, we got in there pretty late last night. We practiced at Temple, and then we took the bus up here and had a shoot around at the arena like around 8:30 last night. But we're staying outside of the Bronx. We're not in there. We're about maybe 15 minutes away. So I don't know. I'm sure he's ready to get back in there, but we're not too close right now.
I'm just curious, what do you say to some of these younger guys on the team, like a Dingle and a DeCozy, that minutes have been up and down this year? You've been here for a while. What kind of words of encouragement do you give them? Because Daniel Dingle and Quinn and DeCozy are going to be good players here for the Temple Owls, but they're not getting a whole lot of minutes this year.
Yeah, I tell them, just be patient. You can talk to me, you can talk to Scooty, talk to Leaf. We've all been through it, and you see guys like that who like how their careers have progressed over the time. They didn't play much first 2 years, and then now they become such great players. And just tell them, be patient, go to practice every day. I know it's tough to sometimes have the attitude that you're going to work your hardest, give it all every day, and not have anything really to show for it in game-wise, but I think it's just important to really help this team get better every day in practice, help yourself get better every day in practice, because it's going to pay off down the road.
TJ, as your career winds down, you've been here for a little while, and you've got the opportunity to see the Atlantic 10 grow as a basketball conference, and it has gained national recognition. And this year, compared to years past, the A10 is one of the deepest conferences in college basketball with St. Louis, VCU, LaSalle, Butler, yourself, Massachusetts, Xavier, the list goes on and on. How tough is it to play in the Atlantic 10? Because conference play has given everybody trouble from start to finish this season.
It definitely is. You've seen a lot of the top teams have more losses this year than in previous years, I think. Anytime you can go on the road and get a conference win, that's really a good feat for you guys. Because, especially away from home, every team is giving you the best shot, and there's a lot of depth in this league. And you see how much talent some of the teams, even at the bottom of the league, have. And some of them are struggling, but they still have a lot of talent, and they're dangerous teams. So that's the biggest part. And even the teams at the bottom, they still have a lot of talent, and if they're clicking on a certain night, they have the capability of beating almost anybody.
I know you sent out a tweet after Rick Majerus passed away, and this St. Louis team has been on a phenomenal run this year, and they're playing with an emotion. You actually beat St. Louis when they came in here to the Liacouras Center. Can you just give us a little bit about a preview about this St. Louis team?
Yeah, they're very good. I think when they came to Liacouras Center, I think they would say they didn't play their best game that day. I think we played good. I think they would say they didn't play their best game, and I think ever since then they've been pulling a little bit. They've gotten confidence. They're really playing well. Always it's been with their defense that really sets them apart. They really defend the ball well. They don't let people get by their man. They give Nye on the wing. And then now their offense is becoming more efficient. They got some real good players, and they just play as a team. And overall, I just think it's a great story this year. The coach has taken over and done a great job, and the seniors and all the players on their team have really stepped up.
TJ DiLeo joins us right now on the hotline, Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. And TJ, we've heard Coach talk a lot about your relationship with Will Cummings. He says that you're either always the first guy off the bench to congratulate him when he does well, or sometimes it gets a little bit tricky when you're on the court and he's on the bench. Go a little bit in depth about your relationship with Will and the bond that you guys have been able to form over the last 2 years.
I think we definitely had a good bond. Every practice, it's me and him guarding each other the whole practice. We're talking back and forth about different things we can do, different things we see on the court, especially when we're going through the other team's sets or the other team's defenses, just talking about different things that we think will work with each other. And I know, when it comes to playing time, I know that the best thing for this team is when me and Will are playing good. So I want him to do well. We need him. He brings a dimension to this team that I think we need to be successful. And if it costs me some minutes, then I'm okay with that, because overall, the most fun thing is being able to win. And I think the best way to win is when we have that solid 1-2 punch. Me coming off the bench for him, bringing a different change of pace, and just overall playing well.
TJ, you've grown up in this area and spent some quality years here at Temple, and obviously you know that Philadelphia is a sports-crazed city, and your pops is the GM of the Philadelphia 76ers. Do you find yourself getting into some heated exchanges about the Sixers and where they stand now?
Yeah, I try to stay out of it, but yeah, I do have some emotion towards it. I wish they were playing a lot better. I know it's been tough this whole year with the whole Bynum situation.
Right.
I know this isn't what anybody in the organization really expected in the summer. I know everybody in the organization was real excited about the trade. Everybody was for it. Everybody thought this is something that can bring the team to the next level, because they believe that they want to create a championship type team, and they got to take chances to do that. And they believe that last year they kind of maximized their talent levels. They did as much as they could with the team they had at that point, and so they needed to do something to take a risk to bring it to the next level. And obviously, it hasn't worked out so well right now, and I don't know. We'll see what happens going forward.
Yeah, there's not many 7-foot basketball players out there that can average 20 points a game and pull down 12 boards. But do you kind of enjoy that front office perspective of sports? You've gotten to play at Division I NCAA basketball, but do you enjoy the front office aspect of professional sports?
I do. It's interesting with all the contracts and money-wise stuff and all the talent in the NBA, just trying to get the right group of guys. It's interesting to see how some guys mesh with others, how well people play with each other, how well people can play for a certain coach, how all that stuff works out. So I think all that's pretty cool.
This town, they love your family. They love your dad. They love yourself. Everyone just is real high on this TJ DiLeo kind of family, the whole DiLeo family. I'm just wondering, though, how many times during the course of a day, since your dad is the GM of the 76ers, and I've sat next to him numerous times throughout the course of the season at the Liacouras Center, and when he walks in the building, it's like Beyonce walking in the building because every single person is running up to him trying to say hello to him. How many times do people ask you during the course of the day, is Andrew Bynum going to play this year?
I don't know. I say I get it every other day, maybe not every day, but almost every other day. And I mean, people think I know more than I actually do, and I think actually my dad and the people in the front office still are looking for some answers with him. So I know I get asked it a lot, but I really don't know too much about that situation. I think they're still looking for some answers too to that situation.
TJ DiLeo joins us, Philly's #1 college radio station, WHIP. Zach Gelb, Chase Sr., and John Henry here with you. TJ, we won't keep you that much longer, only a few more questions right before we let you run. You mentioned it's Fordham's senior night tonight. Your senior night will be on Sunday. VCU comes in there. Do you ever sit there and pinch yourself and just say, wow, these last 5 years have gone by real quickly?
Oh, yeah. Every day, I cherish every practice. I mean, in the past, it's like some days you're like, oh, I don't feel like practicing today. I'm sore. We just had a game last night. But this year, it's every day. You just know it's winding down, and you just want to go practice, be out there with your team because you know your time is limited. But I'm excited for senior night. It'll be bittersweet, but I think it'll be a great atmosphere that night with the whiteout and great opponent coming in, and should have a good crowd.
Every year that you've been here, Temple has found a way to make it into March and dance and playoff basketball. What's the experience like playing in the NCAA Tournament? Because it's one of the best sporting events in the United States, and if not in the world. People are out there every single year placing bets on games and filling out brackets, and it gets crazy with all the television and all the games nationally televised and stuff like that. But from a player's perspective, what's the experience like playing in March?
I think like getting out there, and once you get out there to whatever location you're in, you're real excited. But ultimately, when the game comes, you forget about everything. It's just like a normal basketball game that you played. And I've said that about people ask me about playing at Kansas, playing at Duke, stuff like that. And it's like before the game, leading up to the game, yeah, all those emotions are kind of boiling up. You're real excited, stuff like that. But when the game starts, it's really a normal basketball game like the ones everybody has played in so many times in their life. You kind of tune everything out, forget about everything.
And this team has been up and down this year, the Temple Owls, as you know. But the one player that has been solid throughout the course of the whole season has been Khalif Wyatt. And you got to know him very well over the last few years. I'm sure you read the article that Keith Pompey wrote in the Philadelphia Inquirer the other day. And it talks about his alter ego and how he talks and yells at the basketball, yells at the refs. But then off the court, and you see this guy, and he's very loud on the court. He's not afraid to tell teammates what he's thinking. But off the court, this guy does a lot of charity work. He does an internship. You've seen Khalif Wyatt, both sides of him. What kind of guy is Khalif Wyatt when you look at him?
Yeah, he's definitely a fun-loving guy. He's not going to be mean to anybody. He's not going to be nasty to anybody. He's that type of guy. He's not going to. He's a great teammate. He's always picking everybody else up. He knows on the court. He knows when that we all trust him, that we all need him to make plays and stuff like that. And he's okay with that role. And the best part about it, he's a great scorer, but he loves to pass too. And he's always looking for other teammates. And just off the court, a lot of times he's actually quiet, but he's fun-loving too. He's not the type of person that would. He's not confrontational at all with anybody. So he's a great type of locker room guy, and he gets along well with everybody.